And we got one out. Crap. Okay. Well, let's go get him in. Hey, Lordy. Anybody want to buy some pigs? Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So, we got a lot going on today. Those breeder pigs and those feeder pigs down on the lower part of the farm, you know, we've had them in their training / weaning pen now for a while, longer than they needed to be. Part of that was my fault. I didn't have enough fencing supplies to be able to get those pigs out of there and out on the pasture. So that's been corrected. We got enough stuff. The rest of our equipment came in yesterday. The rest of our fencing line came in. So we're going to go down and we're going to try, it's going to be a long day, we're going to try to break that crowd out into their 3 separate groups that they're supposed to be in: the breeders, the feeders, and then we're going to try to separate those boars into their own paddock. So and also we're going to find out if the training has worked. Have we got these pigs appropriately trained on electric? We get a lot of questions about training pigs on electric, so we're going to see if that worked. If it did, we're going to talk about some stuff. If it didn't work, you're probably never going to see this video. So stick around with us for a little while. We got a lot going on today, a lot of work to get done. So hang out with us and let's get some pigs moved. Okay, big task for today is going to be getting these feeders out of this area that they're in. They've been here for a couple weeks, way too long, but again, you know, we ran out of fencing supplies, so we had to order that. That's totally on me. So we want to get these guys out of this, or at the very least, what we're going to do, and I think this is what I've decided, I'm going to let them retain access to this, but we're going to give them a big swath here. Probably we'll take in that other farrowing hut that's over there on the side. So we're going to set up some fence posts and start pulling some line. We want to keep this pen intact until we get enough of the new paddock built so that we can open that up and they'll still be retained via fence. Then we will take this down and we'll finish building out the rest of the paddock. And it's not going to be far, just the other side of where that back fence line is back there. The electric line will go just past that and then back down to the corner. We're going to start in that corner right down there, just past that bulk feeder, and build them out a paddock here. Now, once that is done, we're going to take the pig panel materials from this one. We're going to add it to the front of this paddock right here, and then this will be for our boars temporarily until we can get them moved off to the side. At the same time, I don't know if we're going to get all this done today. We'll see how this works out. At the same time, we're going to build out another paddock kind of behind and to the left over there. Oh, you see my arm. Kind of behind and to the left over there for these gilts, so that they've got their own space to be in. So, not going to be able to leave them here long because there's some girls in here. We want to make sure that the boars get away from them before they start having any heat cycles. Should be a little while, but we don't want to take the risk. And then we got to get the boars separated out so they don't have, you know, easy access or are not close to any gilts that are coming into heat until we're ready to put them in. So we've got some space down here to work. We got some wood line back here in the back. We're going to use a little bit of this area here that they're on now, and then we've got this pasture over here in front. So let's get to dropping some fence posts in, pulling some line, and see what we can do with these guys. Okay, so common question we get asked is, how do you know when pigs are trained on electric? In our experience, we've learned that pigs will typically figure the electric out over the course of just a couple days. Sometimes sooner if they're exceptionally bright pigs, sometimes a little slower if maybe they're not such bright pigs. But anyway, so one thing that we look for is these guys here now, you notice that they see that wire and they turn from it. A pig's natural instinct is whenever it hits its nose against something uncomfortable like an electric shock is it will go forward. So what we look for is those pigs will touch the wire and they'll turn away. Hence the reason for the pig panels. Initially, it creates a hard barrier that the pigs can't go through, so when they hit that electric, they learn they can't go forward, they can only go backwards. So these guys have been on electric now for a couple weeks. We've been watching them. They don't get close to it. They very rarely touch it now, so we feel very comfortable about opening them up. So what David's doing now is we're going to open up this upper side of the pig panels. We've got our new paddock laid out. For the most part, we still got to finish the back side, but we're going to open this front side where these pig panels are and let those pigs out into this area here. Again, we're going to leave them the spot that they're on. We're going to move their feeder to a different location, so they're still going to have access to water, shelter. We've given them another shelter up here on the side, but they're going to have much bigger space to work in. So natural progression, we're going to open them up, see what they do with it. We're going to go ahead and put the spark on it, make sure that we got it good and hot before we open them up. Yeah, it's time to let them out into their new space. So we got one of the panels down, and we got the wire inside the old paddock pulled up. So we're going to give them a little time here and see what they do with it.
Let it go.
So we got them over, and we're kind of used to dealing with much bigger pigs around here. So we've not dealt with baby pigs in a while. So we had the fence line set a little bit lower than what we normally have it set for our big pigs. And it wasn't quite low enough. So we ended up with 3 escapees. So we got everybody ran back in. We got the wire pushed down nice and low now. So I think we're in good shape. Put the tester on it, and it's reading about 7100, 7200 volts. So I think we're in good shape. So anyway, they just walked right under it. I looked up the way they were going, so we were able to corral them back in. No big deal. But yeah, whenever you're setting wire, people ask me, that's another question I get asked, how high should you set your wire? It needs to land somewhere between that pig's snout and its ears. So you just got to look at your pigs and see how tall they are and determine based on their height how high you want to set your wire. So, but I think we're in good shape now. So next task, David's working on it. We're going to take the rest of these wire panels down and take this paddock out, and we'll be in good shape on these guys. Going to use these panels for the boys next door. So okay, so next challenge is on the breeder group here. We want to get all the gilts out. We want to get all the girls moved out so that we've just got our males sequestered in this area. So we're going to come out. This is a short panel right here, it's about 8 foot or something. So we're going to slide that over. We're going to work the girls out, and we've got them a nice new paddock built right here off to the side. So wire, got one reel that starts here, goes about halfway around into the tree line straight ahead there, ends. Then we got our second reel. It starts there, and then it goes down through this set of woods right here, and then back up to here. I know this is not a big spot. These are not big pigs. They're not going to be here for very long. This is just to open them up and get the different groups separated out. So we're going to have our gilt group, we're going to have our feeder group, which are the boys over there on the other side, and we've managed to mitigate our escape issue. So we've got the line down nice and close to the ground. Same here. So we got gilts in this paddock, we've got feeders over there. We're going to have the boys in the training pen, and then we're going to build their pen out up past where the side by side is. We're going to build their pen out so they've got some new fresh ground to work on. So this is a process. It just takes time. Just got to do one thing at a time. Not get in a big rush, because it upsets the pigs and the people involved. So me and David think we got a pretty solid plan here. So next up is see if we can get these girls out. Starting to rain. That's part of our issue right now. It's starting to get a little drizzle here, so I'm not sure how much of the footage we'll get. See if we can get these girls moved out. We just spent 2 hours, at least 2 hours, wasn't it, David? We just spent at least 2 hours trying to get these girls over here. Now, our two littlest boys, the two new Hereford boys, are over here with them. That's fine. I can catch them whenever we're feeding tomorrow morning and pick them up and put them back across. Long term, this is going to be the group that they're going to breed first anyway, so it's fine. So we got everybody moved over here. We ended up having to sequester Jack and Hamlet back here in the corner, and we had about 4 girls we couldn't get over, so we ended up getting them up in this corner, bringing another panel over, locking them in. Just as it quit raining, I was hoping we could film some of this. I don't know that it probably would have been entertaining for y'all. It wasn't for us. And we got one out. Crap. Okay. Well, let's go get him in. Hey, Lordy. Anybody want to buy some pigs? All right, we got him back in. We're just going to have to make sure this fence has got to be low to the ground. I mean, daggone, just inches off. These guys are so small. And we're just in the mindset of bigger pigs. So he'd get out right there, wouldn't he? All right, we are now 2/3 of the way done. So we've got all the girls in their paddock over here, plus the 2 new Hereford boars. And you know, they've got a good sized spot here. I mean, they got some woods to root around in for shelter tonight. We may bring the old ham house down. It's just so muddy, try to bring the tractor down. They're gonna have some cover in here in these woods, so they'll be fine. So no rain, not supposed to get super cold, so they should be perfectly fine. But they're already over here doing, man, I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Rooting around, scratching through the leaves. So, good spot right here. Look at that, already. And fluffing it up. So, good spot here. We got the water barrel set. We got a couple feeders out here. Again, we're just ration feeding these guys. So then next step is we're gonna build out the boar paddock. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go this way with a couple of pig panels on each side and then across the back. So they're going to get a whole new area up here of it's muddy, it's soft, but it's not nearly as bad as what they're in here. So much better spot for them. And then they're now separated from the girls. So we've got that accomplished. And then finally, the third piece of it was, and this was the first one that we done, we've got all of our feeders. You know, they were in this area here that's all muddy and beat up. So we've now opened them up into this. Again, it's soft. We've had a lot of rain, but there's some undisturbed ground here. They won't last on this long, but it does buy us a little bit of time. Got about 3 or 4 days without any rain coming up, so hopefully things will dry out. But these guys on a new spot, feel good about their paddock. Just had to make sure that wire was low enough. But Same deal here. Look here. Already doing their thing. Look how pretty and black that dirt is, man. It looks good. So, 2/3 of the way through. Let's get this boar paddock finished up. Give Jack and Hamlet some more space. And we should be good to go. Probably a little bit of lamb stew there. The keys to training pigs on electric: first off, make sure that they're inside of a structure that they can't get out of. Make sure they have plenty of exposure to the wire. They've had a lot of opportunity to see it, to touch it, to experience it. And then number 3, make sure that that wire always stays really, really hot. You want them to learn early on a good hot fence. That way when they get older, it doesn't take near as much. You'll always want to keep your fence good and hot, but it's not going to take as much to keep them inside of that fence. We've had pigs that we have forgot to turn the energizer on. We've let a battery go dead. Whatever the case may be, they've been without electricity on their wire and they stay in. So yes, you can keep pigs on a single strand of wire if they're trained right. I think we've got a pretty good jump on this crowd, but if they're trained right, no reason at all why you can't keep pigs on a single strand of electric wire. So last step here, let's check and see what our energy's at. So we've got about 7,300 volts, 7.3 kilovolts, 4 amps, so that's good hot fence there. And that's on a connected line. Let's go up here to the line where the energizer's connected to. And 7,300 volts there. So that's perfect for the feeders. These little guys, again, we've got the fence nice and low. Trying to remember these are not big pigs. So we're good there. So let's check the boars and see what kind of spark we got on them. And looks like about 7,600 volts. So that's good hot fence there. So if they get up into that, they will be quickly reminded that that's not something they want to mess with. And we're working on everybody's water right now, so we'll get that done before we leave. And then finally, on our breeder group, 7,600 volts on them. 71, 76. So we are really good on our spark. Let's get in here below the line that the energizer is actually connected to the tied in line. See what we got. Should be about the same. Let's see what we got here. 7,600.3 amps. So again, we've had plenty of training on the fence. We know the fence is hot. The pigs know to turn away, to go backwards from it when they touch it. And got plenty of spark on this thing, so I think we're good. I'm excited about this. We got all these critters out now. We got everybody separated into their individual and appropriate groups. So far, training a success. We'll see in the morning if everybody's still here. We've had to fight the rain all day long. Been kind of aggravating, but we got it done. Training pigs on electric is not that difficult. Again, there's a couple of things that you've just got to keep in mind. Solid fence outside. Let's see, somebody's back here somewhere. Yeah, solid fence outside of where they're going to be. Having that line inside, keeping it nice and hot, giving them plenty of exposure, and a little bit of time. They learn quick. I mean, pigs are, they're smart animals. They figure this deal out. And they're easy to train on electric. You just got to take a little time and get your setup right to start with. So I'm going to post a link to another video up here talking about training pigs on electric. Go over and check that out. You might pick up some tips. I might have forgot some things to say in this video that we did talk about in that one. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Follow along with us. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Spring is coming fast. We got gardens going to be happening. Always got pigs, chickens, lots going on. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.